Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Peace and love, everybody. Get right with the Most High. Listen, this is unsustainable. It is. And if you don't prepare yourself, it's just going to get worse for you. I'm going to just be honest with you. This ain't no fear-mongering or nothing of the sort. This is just for you to open your eyes of what's going on and why you should prepare yourself about what's going on, because other than that, guess what? You're the one that's going to be caught with your hands in your pockets and nothing coming out of it. It's getting ugly out here. And a lot of people are shutting down their trucks and their businesses, and I think you should really take that into consideration of what's going on. Let's get into it.
Yeah, truth be told, they ain't ready for this heat. Peel the layers back on every fake facade. They building narratives, we see right through the fraud. I'm the signal cutting through the digital static. My feed is undisputed facts, my flow is cinematic. We expose the truth be told, yeah, the truth be told. Watch the algorithm break as we make it go viral.
I'm not one to fearmonger, but I do believe that this is something that everyone should take into consideration when talking about the state of affairs. So I've been listening to a lot of people's takes and how, you know, the fuel prices will affect certain things, but I don't think people really understand the magnitude of how this is going to play out. And see, I've been a truck driver for 8 years. I've been a container driver for about 4 years, and I'm seeing a lot of shifts in the container side of trucking. And when it comes to fuel is getting up there in almost $6 per gallon for diesel. And people are saying that if oil gets up to $300 a barrel, that's going to equate to about $15 per gallon. And do you know what $15 per gallon for an 18-wheeler will cost? You're going to see a lot of companies, small companies, big companies, go out of business. They're going to take their losses and they're going to get out of Dodge. And it's going to happen rather quick, right? So when you have a shortage of trucks moving product, you're going to have it's going to take a lot more time for that product to get on the shelves, because there are only going to be a couple of companies that's going to be able to move this stuff. And I was just in a driver's meeting 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was in a driver's meeting about 2 weeks ago. And these companies that ship their products to the US, they're stopping. They're stopping solely off of fuel. Because once the fuel goes up, then the companies hauling said products have to charge accordingly to ship to move that product to wherever it has to go. And a lot of companies are getting rid of their contracts with a lot of these companies. So a lot of these companies are losing contracts due to fuel. So not only will you have a large amount of companies going out of business strictly on fuel, but you're going to have a longer time for said materials to get to us due to no one being able to move it. So with that being said, I would rather you play it safe than sorry and start stacking up the stuff that you need to get, that you normally get, because I'm not saying that it's going to be a desert out here, right? But it might just be a desert out here. It's definitely about to be a hard time for a lot of trucking companies, especially your small 1 to 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 trucks. It's going to be a hard time for them. It's going to be hard for your mid-sized companies. It's going to be hard, very hard for your larger companies as well. So at the end of the day, to the truckers, know when to hold and when to fold.
Let me tell you why I agree with them. Because I'm in this industry. And it's very unsustainable. It is. When you look at it, what's going on, I might even shut down operations and get out of the industry as a whole. If it's not profitable, it makes no sense to do. There's only so far you could go with it, and people getting tired of it and they're getting burnt out. And you can't blame people. You can't. Because it's a rough industry. High expenses, low margins, and it burns you out after a while, you know? When you got to keep track of every nickel and dime that you're spending and all that, you know, it gets rough. It does.
Truck drivers, the people who go across our nation delivering goods, well, they're impacted too, and it's much larger than you think.
Before the fuel prices, I was grossing about $8,000 a week. Right now, I'm on schedule to gross about half of that.
This time last year, I was paying about $125 less per tank.
Everyone keeps blaming the fuel prices right now in trucking, and fuel is just the beginning. I was recently quoted in a Washington Post about what's going on in trucking, and let me tell you, that's what I'm actually seeing while reviewing financial. Insurance cost is up. Equipment financing is sitting anywhere at 12 to sometimes 20%. And you're not just running a truck anymore. You're feeding the whole system. You're feeding the truck.
Insurance. Insurance went up like crazy. Yeah, it has. Insurance is a problem too, but these fuel prices is like the biggest expense in trucking. The tires get done with fuel. A lot of parts get made with fuel. So, let's see.
The bank, the insurance companies, the brokers, and by the time everyone gets paid, there's nothing left for you. That's what's pushing companies out of business, not just fuel itself.
A lot of people I know, they parking their equipment, selling their equipment. Who they gonna sell it to? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Probably sit there and let it collect dust, you know what I mean? But when you look at it as a totality, understand that it can hurt you. And it will catch up to you. The truck drivers is taking the brunt of it right now, but after a while, they're going to be like, if it's not profitable, it don't make sense. Even I'm looking at it like that. If it's not profitable, it don't make sense. Who's to blame? The one in office is who they're going to blame. Because if he never did what he did, just like with the tariffs, you're just taking a bad situation and making it worse. I'm sorry. Whatever y'all feel, however y'all feel, these policies are bad policies. Sorry to say. It is. So, get mad at me, whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean? But these policies ain't working, buddy. I hate to tell you that. But you're making things rough for a lot of people, man. For those of you that don't own no trucking equipment or don't own a trucking company, nothing like that, maybe you can relate to this. Maybe. You know? Let's see. Because trucking's going to affect you. It's going to affect you bad. But this is affecting you too. This guy got a suit on with some sneakers on. With Dude, he's supposed to wear no socks, no show socks.
Leading us off on this Tuesday morning, gas prices jumping 20 to 30 cents overnight, having drivers do a double take when they hit the road this morning.
Yeah, why?
20 to 30 cents overnight. For people to go to work. That is not sustainable. That is not sustainable, and it's dead wrong, man. It is.
You were sleeping gas in the St. Pete and Tampa Bay area reaching $4.29 a gallon, some places even higher than that. Analysts say the spike is being mostly driven entirely by the ongoing conflict with Iran, giving us prices we haven't seen since the summer of 2022. Barrels of oil jumping nearly 50% in the 5 weeks since the bombing campaign in Iran began. Drivers, gas station managers, and farmers alike say the spike is hitting hard as higher fuel and diesel costs trickle down through everyday budgets. Economists warn the surge could fuel broader inflation as financial markets struggle and mortgage rates climb to 6-month highs.
One day the price could be dropping 50 cents a gallon, so that's a savings of $4,000, or it can be going up 50 cents a gallon, and that's an extra $4,000 you're spending on something that 4 weeks ago was way cheaper than that.
Most Americans now have seen 2 paychecks impacted by the higher price of fuel.
10 Tampa Bay News reporter Asha Patel live for us this morning in Largo with how gas prices are impacting drivers. Asha, what are you seeing there in Largo this morning?
Good morning, Jameson and Jenny. You know, if you are planning on filling up gas today, you're going to have to pay quite a high price. You know, on the way to work, I saw prices at $4.19 on Gandy Boulevard in Tampa, right by the station in St. Pete, $4.25. But this tops it all here in Almerton Road. We are seeing $4.35 a gallon this morning. The last time we saw prices this high was back in June of 2022 when gas neared $5 a gallon here in the state of Florida and diesel neared $6. Now, experts say global tensions are a big driver after.
I will say California, Florida, and Pennsylvania, to me, are the most expensive states when it comes to gas and fuel. Okay? I will say that. They are the most expensive.
Military strikes involving the U.S. and Israel at the end of February, conflict in the Middle East has been escalated, and that region plays a major role in the world's oil supply. So when there's instability, prices here at home can spike. Now, just a few moments ago, we had a chance to speak to somebody who does a lot of driving, and he says this is really taking a hard hit on his business.
It's like at least $50 or more less a week, or I have to drive more to pay for it. I believe it'll probably top 5 the way the situation is with the summer coming up, and yeah, it's not good.
Now, there are also other factors playing a part here, too, as to why you are seeing higher prices at the pump, and that is warmer weather on the way and spring break travel. Because of that, there is more demand for gas. Now, we are going to keep our eyes on how these prices are looking throughout the Tampa Bay area and be sure to keep you guys updated, too. Reporting live in Pinellas County, Asha.
Reporting live in Pinellas County. Hope for the best, man. That's all I could tell you. Hope for the best. Hopefully things work out for people. Hopefully all y'all put yourselves in a predicament where it's not as bad or as harsh and you're preparing for the whole. It's going to get worse. You can't ignore this stuff. It's not going to go away. And it's going to get worse. I'm telling you. It's going to get worse, and a lot of people trying to act like, oh, this, all that. No. It's going to get worse. I'm telling you. You just can't. It's unavoidable. Peace and love. I'll catch you on the next one. Get right with the Most High. Hey, man. Who knows? Hopefully it gets better. You know what I mean? Hopefully.